Greeting, fellow travelers. Welcome back. So the meetups that we've all been looking forward to are quickly approaching. The Boss Reseller Remix is less than a week away. It's in Vegas. And then at the end of the month, the Planes to Profit in Omaha is happening. And then next month, at the end of April, will be the Nashville meetup. And I thought that since these are coming up quickly, I put together a little instructional video on how to prepare for the meetup so that you will not have any surprises and you can maximize your fun and you won't be scrambling around for things you might need if you had realized that you needed them beforehand. Before I get into that, I just want to point out that there are tickets still available for the Boss meetup. The Planes to Profit, however, has been sold out, so there'll be no opportunity to go there, unfortunately. But you could always check the coverage that we'll be having on our channel after the fact, as well as the other two meetups. The meetup in Nashville is free, so I guess the attendance is unlimited. But Ray does ask that you go on his Facebook page and register for the event so he knows how many people to expect and get the swag bags together and all of that prepared. So if you need any other additional information, you can go back to my previous videos where Mary and I had interviewed all of the event hosts. We did one with Katie and Vicky for Boss, and one with Corey, Teresa, and Alicia for the Planes to Profit. And we also interviewed Ray for the Nashville meetup, so you can always get some information from there, or just contact me or Mary through our Facebook page, the Metco Meetups Facebook page, Instagram page. So, okay, let's get started. I did post or I'm going to post a meetup checklist. I'll just go through all of that on our page, so you can just kind of go there and follow through if you like with any information. I love to travel. I've always been an avid traveler throughout my life and my different career iterations. I had a business in Panama, so I flew to Panama over 40 times in my history of working there and having a business. I was also an instructor, a speaker for a number of different self-help programs, which also brought me to traveling a lot, throughout the country. So I do like it, and I consider myself a fairly savvy traveler. But when I started traveling for reselling, I realized there was some additional tricks, tips, hints to incorporate and to consider so that I would be able to be more productive. When I first started traveling, I remember I went to the reseller rally, and I was not really prepared for what to expect. I bought this big lot of aerosol cans that I got a really good price on, and I've since flipped them all. And I didn't want to not bring them home, but shipping hazardous material is challenging. But I did things like I used the ice bags from the hotel and wrapped up in each individual one, and I asked for to borrow a tape gun, and I scrounged up some boxes and I shipped them all home, and it worked out. But all the time that I spent in acquiring all of those tools and materials, had I been prepared for it, it would have been a lot easier. So that's kind of the purpose of this video. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's helpful to you. Okay, so as I said, the purpose of this video is to prepare ourselves to get the most out of it and not have to waste time once you're there. Just bring stuff with you, So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through the checklist, and so I make sure I don't forget anything, and we'll go from there. So prior to the trip, now this is very important. Before you even think about what you're going to pack and what you're going to put in your bag and whatever, make your plans and accommodations early. As soon as I hear about a meetup and I know I'm going to go, I immediately register. Sometimes, there's a possibility of tickets closing out, but if you act pretty quickly, you can assure yourself of not getting closed out of the meetup. Also, I like to book my flight early. Now, I'm going to talk about in this video people who are flying and people who are driving, but I'm pretty much a flight person. Oops, made a sale, and so I'll give you hints about preparing for traveling in both ways. So as I said, I like to, whenever I do any traveling, whether it's for reselling or whatever, I like to book early because first of all, you're going to get a more favorable price for your ticket, and also if you book early enough, you have a good opportunity to get the seat that you like. I mean, this I'm a creature comfort person, and I like to be plan ahead so I can make things as comfortable for me as possible. So that's why I plan ahead, and I know I have it all done, and I don't have to worry about it last minute and getting closed out of a flight. I can take the flight that I want and not have to do a stayover flight, a stopover or a time that's not, favorable for me. So, if you book early, you have your pick of the litter. Also, as far as the hotel, I like to book early because what I like to do is if there's an event that's centered around the hotel, I like to be in that hotel. It really enhances my experience by being right there, and then you can go up to your room whenever you want and go back. And a lot of these meetups center around all the little informal gatherings that we have. So, like, if I'm staying in the hotel and a bunch of other people are staying in the hotel, we can just sit in the lobby, after hours and just chat and have a good time. So I like to be right at the center of the action. So I book my hotel accommodations for very much the same reason, not getting closed out. And if there is a block that the event organizers have provided for us, I get a chance to take advantage of the cost savings on that as well. So it just kind of makes sense for me. Now, also, prior to the trip, if you are driving, and I'll get into the driving aspect in a moment, but it's important to give yourself enough time to service your vehicle. If you are driving to an event, consider this: you're going to be spending a lot of time in your car. Sometimes 4 or 5, 10-hour ride to the event, and then once you're there, you'll be using it for driving around town locally for the garage sales, going thrifting and whatever, sightseeing, whatever you like to do. So having a dependable car is one less worry. The worst thing that can happen is you're all excited to go to a meetup, and on your way or once you're there, your car breaks down, or it can all be avoided if you do just typical normal servicing before the fact. Also, what I like to do is when I go to an event, I don't go just for the event. Like when I'm leaving tomorrow for the boss event, but it's really not until the 13th. I'll be staying with Archie Biscuit Butt. We got a lot of different side activities planned, to enhance the enjoyment of being there. We're going to go to a bunch of different bin stores and garage sales and flea markets and all of that, and other things, just local attractions. So think about what else you might want to do while you're in town. While you're there, you might as well take advantage of it. I mean, if you're down in Florida, you can maybe go to a Disney attraction or whatever, or whatever. The opportunities are limitless. If you just do a little research, check out what's available. Like, for example, this next weekend, in addition to the Boss Reseller Remix in Las Vegas, is the AMD convention. And that's a pretty big convention where a lot of wholesale goods can be obtained, and it's really big. And I found out about it some months ago, and it's free if you register online to get a pass. Otherwise, I think it's $50. So I did that right up front. I have my AMD pass, and we're going to be checking that out while we're there. Okay, another thing that makes sense to do before the trip is to check, put your head into where you're going to go. And one way to really do that is to go and Google the local weather for the area that you're going. Get a weather forecast, like, search on local Las Vegas weather for the next week, and then you'll get a picture of what to expect when you're there. It may be a little colder than you thought it might be. It may be a little bit warmer. The nights might be chilly. There might be rain occurring. So if you do that and you know what's in store, you can prepare accordingly. Bring a raincoat or an umbrella or whatever you might need. A light jacket for the night if it's going to be a little colder, whatever the case may be. And again, just a little bit of advanced preparation is really going to make it a lot more enjoyable and productive for you, and less things to worry about. Also, what I like to do is I really enjoy going to all of the local garage sales and yard sales and seeing how they're different and checking them all out. And what I do when I'm home is I will always make myself a little map of my local area. The Thursday night before the weekend, the garage sales will go on the yard sale treasure map or the GSLAR, the garage sale app, and I'll map out my routes to make it more productive. Well, this can also be done remotely. Like, these apps have a provisions for you to plug in any zip code that you like. So what I do is before I go to Vegas, I plug in the Las Vegas area code, zip code, and I have a map all laid out for me in preparation for going and doing garage sales. So that's another thing to do, kind of little preparation. Okay, now as far as specifically preparing for the trip, it can be one of two ways. You can drive there, and driving does have its advantages because you have your car, and you can do a lot more flexible with what you bring with you, as opposed to flying. You're a little limited with what you can bring and your space limitations. But I have a couple of tricks for that as well. If you are driving, as I said, make sure you service your vehicle. General maintenance goes a long way. Check your spare tire, check all the fluids, pack a first aid kit. Just have, be prepared. I was a Boy Scout, and one of the things I really learned that really always stuck with me was the Boy Scout motto, be prepared. And it really has served me well by just thinking a little bit about something before you go and embark on a trip. Believe me, it's going to really help in a long way. So, stock your car for comfort. Pack some snacks and some drinks rather than spending 5 times as much at the convenience stores along the way. Make it comfortable for yourself. Bring an extra sweater. Bring a blanket if you're traveling with people and with your spouse or kids or whatever. Blankets, pillows, some videos. What I do is, because I travel by plane. So what I do is I have to put the phone on airplane mode, so you really don't have access to Wi-Fi. So what I do is I download a lot of video content, enough to get me through comfortably through the flight, so I don't have to worry about watching the little on-screen TV or whatever, or being at their mercy. I look forward to these trips because I can just sit back, relax, and tune into whatever video that I normally would be checking out at home. Back with being in the car, bring a lot of empty cardboard boxes, and what you can do is you can stack them one inside the other. And you can get 3 or 4 boxes, and then as you need them, you take them out of the stack. And these come in handy for a number of reasons. Particularly what I'm thinking of is when you're going garage selling, and if you plan on filling up your car, then rather than having the stuff all over the place, you can put stuff in the boxes so that you can keep it organized and keep stuff from getting damaged and getting all over your car. It really helps. When I do travel, I'm on the plane. I'm obviously not going to bring boxes, but I will accumulate boxes, wherever I go, so that if I'm traveling with friends in their cars, I do the same thing. I bring 2 IKEA bags with me, and this way I can bring them right to the garage sales, fill them up, go back to the car, empty them out, and hit the next sale with the fresh empty IKEA bag. Okay, if you're flying, which this is me, and I've thought a lot about this, about how to really optimize the flying experience. I kid everyone, I have a patented suitcase in the suitcase method that I learned as I went along. Because what happens is I would bring one suitcase with me and fill it up with my personal effects, or maybe have a little bit room to spare. But quite quickly, you see that you're not going to be able to fit everything in that one suitcase. So what I do is I nest one suitcase inside of another suitcase. So the outside suitcase has nothing in it, obviously. I put all my stuff in my inside suitcase, personal effects and all. And I'll even if I'm going away for a week, and I would normally on a regular trip just take a little carry-on bag or a small suitcase, I'll bring a big suitcase. I want to bring as maximize my space. And what I'll do is I'll use packing materials and bubble wrap as void fill, so my stuff is not going all around. So I can take like a carry-on bag worth of personal effects, put in a large suitcase inside another suitcase, pack it all with bubble wrap and all, which comes in handy, as I'll explain later, for when you're ready to leave, how that stuff can be used for, and it comes in handy. Speaking of things that are handy to bring, like I said, when I first started traveling in the reselling realm and not realizing what I needed, I had to go borrow a tape gun. I had to go scrounge for boxes. I had to, this and that and whatever. So what I do is I'm prepared. So what I'll do is I'll bring a tape gun. You could bring a little small one, a little personal size one. I like to bring the full size one, but that's me. I like to maximize everything. I'm a nut. And also this, quick little story. I went to a garage sale one day and I found this. I had no idea what it was, but it was shiny and it cost $1. So I took it home with me. He says, all right, let me see. So I put batteries in it. And I said, what is this thing? Because I was preparing to do the research to sell it. And what I found was it was a scale. And what happens is you put this around your item and it weighs your item. So this comes in. So this is the one thing out of many that I did like, and I didn't even look it up anyway for research to resell, because I wanted to keep this thing, and I did. And this serves two very good purposes. One, I can weigh my suitcase. Now, when I'm home, I'll throw my suitcase on my floor scale and make sure that it's under the 50-pound allotment, so I'm not charged another $100 penalty for overweight bags. But when I'm away, I don't have that capability in the hotel room. So I use the scale, and I can hook it up to my two suitcases and balance out the weight so that I can make sure that I'm within that 50-pound allotment. So this is like really handy. Comes with me every place I go. So that helps. Okay, what else as far as packing for the trip? Again, when I go to Boss, Archie and I are planning on doing some whatnot auctions and some did auctions and whatever. And all right, I'll be in his house, so I have the benefit of all of Archie's supplies. But even if I'm in a hotel room, I like to be self-sufficient, and I bring some poly bags, bring some poly mailers, some bubble wrap mailers, some additional tape. What I do is I actually have a little remote shipping station in my hotel room so that I can either send out items if I do some live selling, or it also helps out when I go to go home, because I'll give you a little secret. Even though I have the patented suitcase and the suitcase method, it's never enough. Last time when I was in Florida for Dave's storage auction, and I was only there for like 5 days, I ended up with like 5 big boxes that I shipped out to UPS in addition to my 2 suitcases. And again, I was prepared for all of that, so it wasn't a problem. I allowed myself enough time. That's why I never look to rush home the day after an event. I always wait at least 1 or 2 days so I can just kind of decompress and do a little last minute things that I wanted to do. Maybe hit another sale or some more sightseeing. Give myself an opportunity to hit the UPS store. So what I'll do is when I'm ready to depart, I will use my 2 suitcases and I will put the items that are maybe more fragile or more important or things that I've listed, while I was there. So I, need to keep those with me. So in case they do sell, right away, once I get home, I'll have them. All the stuff that has less of a priority, I'll package up in boxes. At this point, after being at the event or the site for a number of days, I'll have accumulated a number of different boxes. Just leave them in my hotel room, and I have all my packing materials that I used as void fill when I flew down. So I don't need it any longer as void fill. I use that stuff to pack. So it's not like a full blown packing station, but I do have some conveniences with me, so I don't have to worry about really scrambling to get a tape gun or be able to weigh it or whatever. And what I'll do is I'll just package up whatever number of boxes that I've accumulated, and I bring them to the UPS store. Now, one little trick as far as preparing the labels for the UPS store or FedEx, I do use pirate ship, so I'm always able to get that 15 to 40% commercial rate discount by using pirate ship. And I prepare the parameters, the weight, and the dimensions. I use my scale again to weigh the boxes, and I always bring I bring a tape measure as well. I forgot to mention that. I bring a tape measure and I weigh it. And even if I don't have a printer or access to a printer, I can create a barcode on pirate ship where once I get to the UPS store or the FedEx store, I just give them that code and they will print out the label and put it right on the package. So I was sure myself of saving because this is money that I'm saving because it's affecting my buy costs, right? Because when I do go on to garage sales remotely, I have like a little bit of a different attitude. I mean, I put the blinders on. I'm not buying golf clubs. I'm not buying stuff that's heavy. What I do is I try to target high ASP items that are small. Ideally, if I can find something that's this big that I can flip for $30-$40 that it costs me $1, that's the ideal item that I'm looking for because it doesn't take too much space up, and I'm not, having the additional cost of shipping it too much more than I normally, would do. So, all right, let me just go back to this checklist because I did want to make sure I hit all of the items. And again, like I said, you can go on. Mary's going to put up this checklist for me today, so you can just use that yourself as well if you're planning for a trip. Okay. All right. I also suggest bringing a laptop or a notebook with you so you can conduct your business accordingly. It's a lot. If I'm going to be away for a day or a couple of days, my phone can do it all. But I like the advantage of having the full computer, so it gives me a little more capabilities. Again, I'm trying to emulate my work environment from home as much as I possibly can without getting too crazy. I'm not going to bring a big tower computer, but I can put my laptop in my bag, my carry-on bag. So I can, easily have that with me when I'm away. One thing that I do as far as preparing my store for travel, I always put my store on time away. Now I'll be in Vegas for 13 days, so I'll put my store on time away for 14 days. But I leave the store open so I can still make sales. I usually do a markdown sale to kind of compensate for the fact that your business does fall off a little bit if you have your time away. But what I do is I will always, whenever I do make a sale, I contact the buyers, explain to them I'm away for a couple of weeks, and if that's a problem, I'll gladly cancel the order if they like. But otherwise, I'll be shipping out as soon as I get home. Also, I do adjust my handling time. When I'm away, I normally have same day shipping, but when I go away, I usually change the handling time to 3 or 4 days. It doesn't make a difference because you're going to be away that time period, but it gives you a little more flexibility when you go away. And also another important thing that I learned, one of the first times I went away, is that time away does not affect any offers or any auctions that you make. So in other words, if you're taking offers or sending offers up to the time that you're leaving and then you shut your store down, there's 4 days that a buyer has an opportunity to take advantage of that offer. So you could get burned with a late shipment. So I stopped sending offers. I'm leaving tomorrow in the afternoon. So I stopped taking offers or sending out offers 4 days ago, so that wouldn't run into that problem. Okay, now heading home. Once you're getting ready to head back home, like I said, box up any goods that don't fit in your car if you're driving, and hopefully you have a big car and you fill it up to the extent that you have to go to the UPS store to ship your excess, but that's usually not the case. So that's another advantage of having your car with you. I'm gonna do one meetup one day that I take my car, and I think it should be a nice little different slant on the meetup experience. Like I says, each meetup that I've gone to, I've flown to. So like I says, I kind of geared towards the tips of going to a meetup flying. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I think I got everything. Yep. That's it. So the idea is to be resourceful, have a good time, prepare as much as you can for the trip, and just go and have a good time. I mean, a little bit of preparation goes a long way in peace of mind, and one less thing to worry about and one less thing to consider. What I generally do when I do get ready for traveling, like I'm leaving tomorrow today. So today is my quote packing day. I call it a day in the life. Like, I conduct my eBay business as I normally would, and I put myself in the attitude of like tomorrow I'm going to be in Las Vegas. So what do I need? So as I go along every aspect of my day, I need another pair of glasses. So I pack those up, and I just I project myself into the next day, living the day that I'm experiencing today. And as things come up, I just prepare accordingly. It's like my entire day today, not that it takes me 10 hours to pack, but the entire day today, I have the framework of the traveling and what do I need on a daily basis? What do I experience? And then the minute that I make that realization, I go and I grab an extra one and I put it in my bag and get ready to go. So I think that's it. As I said, check back to previous videos that Mary and I had interviewed the different organizers of the meetups to get some more information and just to get a little flavor of what to expect, or if you're not able to make one, or even if you have, check out the videos. What I will be doing is during each video, during each event, I'm going to be going around with a camera and capturing all of the activities that we experience, like with the Boss Reseller Remix is heavy with speakers, and I think like 20 speakers. So I'm going to try to interview, as many of them as I can. I'm also going to interview some of the attendees, get an idea of what they like about it, and share their experiences, what they found, and this and that, and whatever else happens. Any other activities that I might go do garage sales. I'm going to bring a camera and film some of those experiences, and we do that Fremont Street crawl, which is a lot of fun on the second and third night in Vegas. I'm going to record that. The idea just to kind of like capture the total experience of the meetup, both the practical aspects of it, the educational aspects, and the fun parts, as a little, memorialization of the event, so that I know I'll be, looking back on them, and hopefully, you will as well, and get an idea of what these meetups are. Because as I always say, these meetups are a lot of fun, and if you have the opportunity to check one of them out, or as many as you can, I think it's a great time. So with that, I want to thank you for your time, and I will see you on the meetup trail. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.